Greetings, everyone. Thank you and welcome. Thank you so much for being here. As we're coming close to wrapping up the year 2024, I was going through some notes that I'd made through, my own self-healing as well as the client sessions that I get and dream time, meditation time experiences. And I was just going through everything that I've learned this year specifically. And I thought that it'll be a good idea to actually share it with the collective. And if it can help anyone's journey, I'll be extremely grateful for that. So thank you so much for being here. My name is Angelic Alchemy Meenakshi, and I am a practitioner of Angelic Alchemy Hypnosis Past Life Regressions, Angelic Alchemy Reiki, Angelic Alchemy Akashic Records Reading, and I am a spiritual mentor as well. And a lot of the information and the wisdom that I share here on my channel comes through my own sense of knowing and tapping into my own wisdom of my past lives, not just in on Earth, but as well as galactically, as well as information coming through my guides, my galactic guides, benevolent galactic soul family, and sessions that I do on my clients. At this moment, I'm reaching close to 1,000 healing sessions. Each and every session has actually taught me something, and I've had tons and tons of takeaways from all the higher selves that have stepped forth to teach me, as well as the collective through these sessions. So I'm so very, very grateful for all my clients. Thank you so much for being here. And let's get started. I wanted to share some very important tips that I myself feel came across as healing tips for my own self journey as well as that of my clients. Basically, I'll be sharing three main tips here. To start with, I want to share an experience of a dream that I just recently had. And this dream was connected to the Matrix. And what happened in my dream was someone I know, an acquaintance or a friend, sent me a message in the dream time stating that they were going for a vacation and they were having an amazing time and they sounded really excited in the message. However, when the message reached me, what I could feel in that dream time was that although they said they were at the vacation having a wonderful time, I could sense that there was a very dark and strange frequency to the message and perhaps the place or where they were basically. And in the dream time, as you know, when we're in a dream time, especially if we work on ourselves, we get very connected with our higher selves and we start working from higher level of frequencies and energies because we're not contained by a body vessel. Our body basically needs all the rest that it does at night. However, our soul is ever growing, ever encompassing experiences and forever on the move. So I felt myself immediately as I read that message in dream time dive into an ocean for some reason. So the next scene was that I dove straight down into an ocean because that's where my acquaintance was. And I saw myself going at supersonic speed into the ocean. And as I was going, I could feel the layers of the ocean get thicker and darker and darker. And as I reached a certain point, suddenly I felt this huge blue light come right in front of me. And I saw this blue elephant right in front of me, which is a huge, huge elephant full of light. It was in a light energy body, so you could not touch it. It was not a physical elephant. And there was so much love and energy emanating, protection emanating from that elephant. And that was it. That journey that I just took ended there, and the elephant stopped me from basically going ahead from there as the ocean got deeper. And as I woke up from the dream, basically, and I sat and interpreted the dream with my higher self and my divine guides, and also tapped into everything else that was happening, with that frequency. What it basically meant was it was a huge message of awakening and individual journeys on spiritual paths, basically. And very often it happens that when we wake up, we have so much knowledge and information coming our way that we are bursting with this information and we are in service to others, wanting to actually share with others to help them so they could also feel the same beautiful energies and uplifting frequencies that we're feeling. We want to actually share it with everyone around us and anyone that we feel called to, or we feel like, oh, this person can, really be helped with this message, and maybe this will help this person on their own spiritual journey. And so basically, in the dream itself, they were showing me that the ocean, the body of ocean actually signifies, symbolizes the collective consciousness. And in the dream, it was very apparent that this particular acquaintance chose to be at a vacation very deep down in under the ocean. It almost felt like you needed a submarine to get there. That's how deep and down under it was. And so this person, this acquaintance was very deep in the consciousness, in the collective consciousness, which meant overall that they had not woken up yet, and they were very deep down in the matrix because it was really thick. That water was thick, it was darker, it did not look, it wasn't unclean, but it was not crystal clear water. It was, again, not murky, but not crystal clear either. And so what it symbolized was the deep consciousness, thinking patterns, and the matrix itself, and how much this person was actually enjoying the matrix and everything that comes with the matrix, whether it is money, financial abundance, materialistic goods, things, and stuff like that, which is very, very connected to the matrix. And in me jumping through thinking that, oh my God, that's not where the person should be, and that is not a right frequency for, their soul. So my first instinct was to go and let the person know, oh my God, this is like a very dark negative frequency, and perhaps you want to come out of the ocean and I can help you with it. And that's why I think I dove in to see, where are you? What's going on? Like, how deep does this go? And but the elephant, basically the blue elephant, which is for me, personally, the blue elephant has been with me since the start of my journey as a protective spirit guide. And I also work a lot with Ganesha, the energy of Ganesha. He's been around me with all his protection, love, care, and wisdom, and has been guiding my path since the beginning. And so I felt his energy through the elephant, stopping me from going any further because it got really dark beyond that point. And he didn't want me to go anywhere beyond that. And the message coming out of that was that this person had chosen to continue to stay in under the collective consciousness, completely sunk in the matrix, and had chosen not to awaken yet. And they were enjoying being where they are. And that is their own individual journey. And until and unless we've been called to help somebody, we don't need to jump right in and say, hey, I think you need help. Hey, this is a dark place to be. And let me show you, other things that are available, other places, other frequencies that you can connect with within yourself to lift yourself. It wasn't time yet to do it for this particular acquaintance. And that is what Ganesha and this beautiful blue elephant were basically teaching me through this beautiful lesson. And as we're going into the holiday season now, a lot of us will be meeting friends, families, acquaintances, people around us in this beautiful holiday spirit. And because everyone's vibrating at this beautiful frequency of love, we can sometimes forget our boundaries and just go ahead and talk about anything that comes close to our heart, which is absolutely fine. Yes, we are meant to discuss and speak our truth and make sure that we are aligned with it. And anytime it comes up in a discussion, be your truth, uphold your truth, embody your truth, and speak up what you care for, and speak up your wisdom and whatever you feel is right. However, at the same time, also being very conscious of the energies and frequencies around to see whether they really are into it or not, and whether they've really asked for that information or not. Yes, of course, when that discussion happens, we can always, plant little seeds that can sprout up later. And it is basically an individual journey. So people will wake up and are working at their own timelines, and throwing ourselves out there to really think that, someone needs us and we need to go and, bring them out of the situation without being asked is also like overcrossing the boundaries of and our code of conduct in the universe, overcrossing the laws there as well. So yeah, that's an important message and a lesson that I learned, which I think I've always known it, but what happens is sometimes, when you care for people a lot, when you love people a lot, we can tend to forget that there are boundaries. So we have to make sure that those boundaries are maintained both ways. Just as you wouldn't want anyone to trespass your boundaries, we have to make sure that we don't cross our boundaries with others as well. And along this path in the spiritual world as well, I found a lot of people who've just overstepped those boundaries and laid blame on others for their energies and what's going wrong with them, and vis-a-vis looking inside of them. So a lot of messages here to take home. Just wanted to share this. And yes, of course, another fun experience was, the synchronicities of the experiences that we have and the confirmations that you get. Next day, when I was deciphering the message from the dream, I was doing yoga, and I just looked up in my living room, and guess what I see? My blue elephant. And I got this little guy in 2017, even before I woke up, and he caught my attention, and he's been with me since then. And I said, wow, this totally makes sense. And I'm definitely taking home this message. And, elephants have been a part of my journey for a very long time. And I do have them in spirit forms and see them very often in my dream time. They're absolutely beautiful. And I love them in the physical world as well. So, yes, isn't that beautiful? Now, the next message that I wanted to talk about was something that came through a client's higher self as we were healing the client's inner child. The client had had a lot of abuse as a child since they were 3 or 4 years old, and they've been on a very long journey in trying to heal that abuse. And as we were working through different layers of healing that were happening for this client, a lot of self-healing had gone into their healing, and they were going through a session as well. The client's higher self shared that very often the negative thought forms and negative patterns get lodged in specific areas of our body and chakra system, and then they block those areas. Okay. Now, what we need to do is, as we're doing our self healing, or if you are a healer and you're helping others heal, it's very important to do the shadow work to heal these aspects of ourselves and these blockages. So, for example, if someone has, say, self worth issues and self love issues because they were not loved in their childhood by parents. One of them was good, the other one didn't care for them. And self worth issues that I'm not worthy to be loved could get lodged. This is a hypothetical example, could get lodged anywhere in their body, not necessarily in the heart. Heart is an obvious place for that, but it could be in the solar plexus where they lose their empowerment and their belief in themselves, because your willpower, your highest potential, your worth, how you feel about yourself, your self-worth is all a part of the solar plexus, the golden chakra just under the heart. So, for example, if it gets lodged there, the person would then become a magnet to the same kind of pattern that they had in their childhood. So, whatever that person was in their life, whoever that person was in their life that abused them, that caused them to have that blockage in their solar plexus, they would attract a similar personality in their life till they actually heal that within themselves. That blockage becomes a magnet, and it just zip, zip, zip pulls all those kind of people close to them. Okay, so they could land up being with, say, friends who would have similar energies of bullying, just like their parent did. If they were bullied by their parents, or if they were abused by their parents, they would attract bullies in terms of in forms of friends. They could attract bullies in forms of partnerships. They could attract bullies in terms of their own spouse partner as well, until and unless they actually heal this within themselves. So you have to look at each individual emotion and thought form pattern that is coming up, and find where it is blocked within your body. And you can do that by going within, and you can also seek for external assistance if you've already done your work and you feel that you need someone else to help you with that, to just take it a notch higher, the next level. And as you find those parts, you need to release them from there by giving yourself love, healing that inner child version of you, saying positive intentions, and truly not just saying them, but feeling them. You should be brought to tears with the amount of love and compassion that you give yourself. So that's an important key for self-healing, healing the inner child. And a lot of times when these traumas and abuses happen, there are aspects of us, parts of us that become shadow aspects, and they either continue to stay in us as shadow aspects in the form of emotions, or even like an embodiment, like a separate embodiment around us in our auric field, or they could also fragment and be left behind in those timelines, still stuck to that person that abused them. So literally, if it's like an old home that you were brought up in, and that person was brought up in, and they were abused in that house, there could still be a timeline where that child, that baby, and their father or mother, whoever abused them, is still there. And that is actually literally a broken fragment of this person's soul. And as you realize this, as you grow older and you start doing yourself healing, shadow work, inner healing, you have to go looking for parts of you that went missing, that got fragmented or were taken away from you. Because this whole journey is about bringing back all aspects of you and bringing back all your powers that got scattered in this universe, or wherever it was because of trauma, abuse, or someone took it away, or you yourself left it because you were stuck in a situation, didn't want to let go of someone. And it's time now to bring back all those pieces of you, heal them with the help of Divine Mother and Divine Father, whoever you believe in, and then integrate them back into you after healing them, and see how you feel as their energy comes in. If there's a certain shift in your own frequency, see how that frequency feels to you. Is it already healed, or are there some more healing needs? And continue to heal that. So it's very important to do shadow healing and shadow work, as well as inner child healing, and making sure that the shadow aspects of us which are stuck with these people, you call them back. You could literally sit in meditation on your own and just make that intention with your higher self. Higher self, I have healed myself. I've healed self-worth issues. I now see how empowered I am as a being, and I can feel that beautiful power of love, sovereignty within me, within my soul and solar plexus. Therefore, any fragments of my soul, pieces of my soul that were ever taken away from me or left behind, got fragmented, I'm ready to now bring them in. So please find them all and heal them all within your soul. Divine Mother, Divine Father, you can allow Divine Mother, Divine Father, I would do that, to take them into them, heal them, because they're the ones that actually birthed us. And then once they're your own frequency healed, let them be integrated by Divine Mother, Divine Father, or your higher self, whoever you believe in, but making sure this is a very important step in it, making sure that, making sure that it is safe, making sure that you exercise all safety while doing this. You give the authority of it to someone that you truly, truly trust, which is the Divine Mother, Divine Father of creation, or your higher self, your oversoul, and you allow them to continue healing this aspect of you within yourself. This is how you call back your power from all the places that you let it loose, or it basically was hijacked. And you start becoming more whole, as this entire journey, the spiritual journey, is to bring back fragmented pieces of ourselves into wholeness so we can all rise into ascension. So this was lesson number 2 that I wanted to share today. Now, the third lesson that I want to share is something that my guides have been sharing with me for a while. And I have, despite that, sometimes we're stubborn kids. Despite that, we go through experiences. Sometimes we forget it. Sometimes we get, we're overflowing with emotions. Sometimes we're not in the perfect state of balance, and therefore we let our guards down. So there are many times and circumstances that we even tend to sometimes forget the messages given to us by the divine, and we need to bring ourselves back to remembering that. And this is one such example that I wanted to share. It is called 0-point healing. Now, I'm calling it the 0-point healing because what happens is, very often, in most cases, as healers, as light workers, even if you're not working as a dedicated, healer who is doing this day in, day out, but are, say, a mother wants to heal her children, or a father for that matter, or it could be the children wanted to heal their parents. In any case, any scenario, when we are meant to heal someone, of course, it's taken for granted that we have to come from a place of absolute, complete, unconditional love, care, and compassion. However, keeping all of this in mind, we also have to remember that one of the key aspects of a healer is to be balanced and in harmony within our own energies, within the energies of the elements and the elementals that we are working with. Okay, I say elements first because depending on what sort of element you are, if you are a fire element, that is the major element that's going to run through your body, through your DNA, through the energy that comes off of you as you're healing people. Or if you're a water element, that'll be more of a cooling sort of energy, balance, emotions coming through. Um, Sometimes you're a mix of both. There's fire and water. So sometimes you can feel more fire and then you can bring in the water element to cool that down and to balance the fire. And you can work it both ways. Now, what happens is very often as healers, also because we are intuitive empaths, most of us are, we feel so much emotion and love for our clients that sometimes we forget those boundaries. And let's see how I put it, we can start to not just feel the emotions of what the clients have gone through, but also start embodying them and emanating it and really feeling it as if it is ours. Okay. When that happens, there are chances that you get too involved or too attached to the person that you're healing and to the situation that they are in. Okay. The reason why I'm talking about this is because I've had a couple of clients who are also healers and they've experienced this. And I myself have experienced this as well. Some of my healer clients said that they felt that after a particular session that they received not an attachment, but they could continue to feel the energy of their client and that they feel that they could feel some energies within them that were not theirs, basically. Okay. And what they realized was that it came from this particular client. They knew it because, at the end of the day, healers are intuitive. You can scan yourself and you know that frequency. When that frequency shifts, you know it. Okay. Now, usually, more often than not, when you perform healings for others, as long as you stay in your heart, as long as you stay balanced and in harmony with yourself, with the energies flowing through you, with your emotions, and as long as you are fully shielded and protected and have your boundaries up, there is no way, no way, no way you can receive an attachment or like an entity or other people's energies that you were trying to heal and release for them, or have anything stuck in your energy field that you were actually trying to remove from your client. Okay. However, sometimes if the healer gets, I'm not talking about compassion, okay? I'm not talking about love. That is something that we are meant to feel, because if there's no compassion, if there's no love, or there is only love and no compassion, I don't understand how the healing would happen, right? Because it's the love and the compassion that allows for these beautiful energies to flow through. I'm talking about when you become so imbalanced that you get caught up in the client's situation, that you lose your own balance and your focus. It is possible for a hook or an energy to be felt from the client that you were actually trying to release from the client. Okay. This happens when you don't stay at a 0 point. What is a 0 point? A 0 point, as for me, as my guides have taught me, is a state of existence, state of frequency that anyone can be at, which allows for them to feel completely their own frequency and also be connected with the rest of the universe as a unity consciousness, as the Divine Mother's soul, as the Divine Mother's heart, as a point of creation. It is a point of creation. Life is birthed at a 0 point. Okay, the wombs of mothers are at a 0 point because they are portals to creation. So when we go into healings, we need to be at a 0 point where we are conduits to the healing for our clients or whoever we're healing, whether it's our children, extended families, friends. We are feeling the love and compassion, but at the same time, we are connected with our higher self. We are healing them from a higher self point of view, where we are one with our higher self, and therefore our emotions and our elements are balanced within us. So you feel the love and you feel the compassion and you help to release it for the client. You also help to release what you're feeling, but you don't get caught up in it like a net, and you don't get stuck to it. You don't get attached to it, nor do they get attached to you. So it's very important to do all healings at a 0 point where you are connected to the Divine Mother, Divine Father, your higher self, and you are holding space for the client with the amount of love and compassion that your soul can hold. At the same time, you don't get attached to the situation, you don't get attached to the client or to the circumstances or to emotions that you are feeling for them. Could be pity, could be sadness, could be anger, could be anything, and it is natural to feel it. So, this was a very important lesson that I received myself, because it did happen once when I was healing someone that I knew very closely, and they were at a point of death. And it was, nothing could have been done at that point, even medically. And so that is the point when you need to control your emotion and make sure you stand there as the higher self version of you and you hold space. And I know I'm repeating myself, but I'm just trying to get the message across because it is a feeling and it is something that you feel from within, the 0 point. So it's a little bit difficult to describe it and not get attached to the situation or to the emotion of the person being in that state of sickness or disease or almost about to leave earth and you remember your own memories with the person. No, you need to be balanced. You need to be in control of your elements, in control of the energy that flows through you. That is when you will hold the maximum and the highest frequency of energy for that person. And that is when you will do the greatest service to that person and humanity, whoever you're helping through that session. Okay. Thank you so much for listening in. I do have many, many other messages, and I will see when they have to come forth. I thought it would be beautiful to share these today. I hope that they help you and help all the people that you're meant to help in your life as well. So, thank you so much for being here on Earth in these important, pivotal times. We are coming to a close of 2024, and we are going to flow into 2025 with very powerful healing energies. Don't forget to rest up and give all the love and care that you need to give to yourself, to your own self, so you can rise and shine even brighter than you did before. It's 13,333. So it's December 13, and my clock says 333. So it's 1333. Thank you so much. I love you all. Blessings to your beautiful family and you. Thank you.